Doubles and Coffee, stop the press. Brian Manning, you care about poor people. You're going to get PNM lawyer, PNM attorney for the URP workers who were dismissed in the restructuring. First of all, a PNM attorney, Brian Manning, and you have so much money, pay a good, intelligent, brilliant UNC attorney so that the people could get real service in the court, not a PNM attorney, a set of duns who had to get favors, use favors to get into law school. Come on, Brian Manning. Secondly, Guardian Media Limited and the PNM fake news media. All you had Brian Manning talking to the media and all you didn't have questions to ask him. Over the internet, social media, Unwind TT, there's information, documentation showing that Brian Manning and Hazel Manning are going to buy One Woodbrook Place from the CL Financial Receiver for $125 million. And media, you all don't have any questions of Brian Manning on that? Where he get the money? Is it true? Is that false? Is that fake? Are those documents real or not? How are we going to buy it? How we found out about it? Who is the receiver? Does he find it appropriate that a minister in the Ministry of Finance would somehow be lucky enough to get a prime asset that had been taken over by the government and kept away from the shareholders of a company, and the receiver just happened to show preference to a former minister in the Ministry of Finance that he may, from his position, have had information over and above what other citizens or people of the globe, of the planet may have had, and therefore it's inappropriate. But I get back to the main point. Where Brian Manning would have gotten that money. Brian Manning, are these allegations true? How are you so quiet? You come to talk for poor people in URP? Well, Brian Manning, since you have so much money, if you have that kind of money, why you foster with the millions and millions from contracts at HDC across the board with PCAL and Rivulet and money going in the account at Venture Credit Union and so on? Faris Al-Rawi, Senator of the PNM, with $148.5 million made in the last 9.5 years. Stuart Smallpin Young and Angus Young and Richard Young, who Stuart Young had to recuse himself over 100 times as his family benefited from public sector work in the billions of dollars. Why don't you PNM rich men, families and so on who benefited, since you care, since it's not ghosts, since it's people, since there's no corruption in the URP, that these are all workers and the UNC is heartless. Since you are saying that, why all you don't take all your millions of dollars that you all made over the last 9.5 years while PNM was in government and put a program together to pay each one of those workers? Let me don't overdo it. $1,600 per fortnight, $3,200 by all the workers. That will only cost you a little for the 3 or 4 months, maybe $10, $12 million, million, since all you have hundreds of millions of dollars and you love the people, you care for the people suffering. Since that is the truth, since all you're pushing that vibe, then take care of the people, because when people have money, I see people feeding the homeless in Port of Spain. They take their own money quietly and buy food and cook and things every night. I see people who love animals take their own money and buy food and go around feeding stray animals and taking them into the house and cleaning them and giving them medicine and taking them to vet and paying vet and so on. Because these people care for people, so they take their own private money and help them. Since you PNM are claiming that Kamala Prasad Bissessa, her attempts to structure, restructure, eliminate corruption, eliminate ghosts, get work done, efficiency, sustainable jobs for people so that they're not beholden to some little crumbs on the floor to go in a maxi with a red jersey and go and listen to boring speeches of blithering PNM idiots. That they could take care of their families, so the children could go to school safely, and there could be upward mobility by generation and generation, getting black people out of poverty, getting all people a fair opportunity and shake to take the love and what opportunities exist in Trinidad and Tobago. If you, Brian Manning and the PNM, against Kamla Persad-Bissessar for that, put your money where your mouth is. All of you rich PNM ministers who got millions, hundreds of millions, and recuse yourselves hundreds of times from the cabinet, which are taking decisions to benefit your friends and family. Use that money. Furthermore, Brian Manning, since it's not ghosts, let me see a protest. I hear a dunce man who get in Fatima because his father knows somebody was the dunciest student in the history of Fatima, couldn't get into Form 6. I hear he ball 44,000 people lost their work since UNC come really. Well then, the nosebreaker. I hear you move out of one Woodbrook place. Why you move out there? Who was paying that bill? Eh? The nosebreaker, since it has so many people and it's not ghosts, it's not corruption, it's heartless UNC who don't like people, right? Kamla Persad-Bissessar, who's prime minister before, and everybody, every grant, anything for people was done. It's your government under Rowley and Smallpin that said to the people, wean yourself off the government. Every road, every hospital, every medicine is for people. But the government cannot bear that. That is you. That is the PNM. That is not Kamla. Kamla redirects the resources to the people. So Simon the Nosebreaker, the dance, since you say 40-something thousand people lost their work, let me see you. Protest. Bring them out. Don't bring out all 40-something thousand. Bring out 2,000. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do it, Simon the Nosebreaker. You dishonest dunce. And to the rest of people, especially people most in need, Kamla Persad-Bissessar is cleaning up the PNM mess so that the money would not be stolen, that the money will be redirected to you in a meaningful manner so that you could have money. You cannot be scraping and beholden, that you could take care of your families, keep a roof over your head, ensure your children have time to study and to be bright, to use the potential that they have. To all the PNM big boys, the big pappies, Faris, use your millions now of rental money. And why are you so quiet? The CPEP thing, Pip, you have Pip now? Stuart Young, Angus Young, Richard Young, Foster Cummins, Brian Manning. Answer the question. You really wanted to buy one Woodbrook place? How you found out about it? Where you got the money from? Do you find that appropriate? Is that true? Why all the PNM didn't give back the shareholders of CL Financial their assets? Didn't they say they could pay off and have paid off everything already? What is it? Did other ministers get assets from CL Financial? Did they get preferential treatment? Did they get house down the island from receiver when Angostura had a house? These are questions I thought normal media would want to ask. But you get Brian Manning down in San Fernando East talking a set of nonsense, but he care about poor people. But all you ask him about that, you ask him about if he made a bid or how he made a connection or if he want to buy that area, that asset, that real estate, and where he get the money from. Did he have that? Did he put that in his Integrity in Public Life Act form? These are some questions that normal media might ask Brian Manning instead of him trying to feign that he loved poor people. Furthermore, Brian Manning, you see the picking on San Fernando East in HDC, March, April, May, 2,300 workers were hired to do what Lord alone knows by the PNM during an election campaign. And when all your lost, nobody cared. All your PNM didn't want to pay the people. His minister David Lee had to instruct the managing director to pay the people. Now, the investigation will continue on how the people, where the people came from, ministers who recommended people and instructed. They have witness statement that ministers of the PNM were instructing the managing director who to hire, giving names and so on, to do what? We don't know. Total ghost. PNM is ghost. So, hey, Manning, bring our protest out. 40,000 people got fired. Bring out 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 of them and walk and ball great is the PNM. I want to see ghosts march. Bless.